Okay, so this is one of the places that I am wanting to develop into a campsite out on the property. You can see there's some pretty good areas out here and stuff. This is the one of the highest points on the property itself, so we shouldn't be in that much danger of flooding or anything like that. Now, one of the things I would like to try and show you is what's called a plow point, and that is using a tarp to basically become your shelter or your tent. This is one of the things I was talking about backpacking wise that we were going to do with over at Robbers Cave. We still are planning on going to Robbers Cave to do this backpacking trip. It just got postponed. So anyway, I'm here today with Drew. Drew volunteered to come out and help me out. I think the others were all wanting to play more computer games. So anyway, I'm going to hand the camera off to him to let him videotape it while I kind of do this. But a plow point configuration, basically you unwrap your tarp. Got a couple of stakes. Well, one of the stakes I'm basically going to take just basically a hair tie. I like carrying them with me. They have a lot of different uses. Oops. But I can go through and I can loop this right here. And just basically find you a tree with a good fork in it. And I can hook it right here. Just like this. Right into a fork. Okay? So I am then going to take the opposite diagonal. And we got us a little bit of wind going here. And I'm going to pull it a little tight. And put it down in there. Take the next corner. Kind of walk it out here. The way these stakes are, I hook them through here. I like these plastic stakes. They're a little bit better than the cheap 50-cent metal ones. They're not as stout as the bigger metal ones or anything, but the plastic ones do have a little bit less weight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm pulling it tight along here and tight along the bottom. This tarp is a standard 6 foot by 8 foot that you could buy at Walmart. Real cheap, real light. I think this tarp runs around $7. And then in this other corner, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull it tight along the back and along up here. From here in the back, if you get cloth tarps, sometimes they will have a center tie-off point. If they don't, you can use a rock, put it there, tie it in there, but you're wanting about the center of this. And I've already got another piece tied to this other side, and you want to join them. However, this is short. This is expected. I've got it. Okay. This is expected. You can take another piece of rope, just like this. And what you want to use is a wooden toggle. A wooden toggle is just a piece of stick. And what you'd want to do is run it through here, run it through your toggle, just like that. We're going to do the same thing with this piece. Loosen it off a little. I've tied a top line hitch up in the top of the tree that allows me to adjust the tension. But I'm going to take this, run it through here, I've got that. Now I'm going to come back up to the tree where my taut line hitch is tied and pull it tight. Now some of the benefits to this, let's say it does start to rain. The rain's going to run down here and stuff. It hits these toggles. It hits these little pieces hanging off like this. It's actually going to fall and drip off there, so the whole thing just doesn't go right down back to the tarp. So this right here is the plow point configuration. Winds up becoming a very nice shelter. Again, 6 foot by 8 foot. The only thing is with your angle, sometimes it doesn't leave a huge amount of room for your feet, but it is definitely better than nothing. A lot of times I will also carry an extra tarp with me to put in the bottom. But it makes a very nice, very roomy shelter that you can actually climb into. But as far as you get, closer you get to the corner, the closer you kind of come to, basically having trouble with headroom. But that rock is sitting just right there, and it also kind of picks it up off the ground to where you kind of get quite a bit of space. So I could actually sit without really ducking my head too much all the way to where that rock is. This right here being a 6 foot by 8 foot, 2 people could actually sleep in this. The closer you tie it to the ground, the more space there is for people to sleep. Also, it helps out wind-wise. But if you tie it up high in the tree, then it basically allows you to sit at the entrance and have a little bit more headroom over there. So anyway, this is the Scoutmaster. I'm signing off. For packing and storing this tarp shelter away, basically we can take the stakes, and again you have the kind of the hair tie, the elastic piece right here, and we got a couple of different pieces of twine that we can use to help stabilize it. I also use just kind of this paracord in a couple of different loops in order to help tie up the tarp shelter. Okay, so once we have the tarp folded in a very nice pattern, we got our bundle sitting here. Basically, this will go in the dead center of our tarp. Make sure I get this fairly good here. But then, actually, I will just go from the other side. I've got my reasons for this. Reason being is that way I know where my corner grommets are. But I can take this and I can roll this into a nice tight package, which is much smaller than most tents. I can then take my paracord use it to help secure it. Thank you.